Face Value, in collaboration with African Media Association, Migrants Commission, and 103 Malta's Heart.
Hi, I'm Elena,
And I am Rachel.
and we welcome you to the last episode of this season of Face Value, where we explore the relationships of people from different nationalities living here in Malta.
Today we have in the studio with us Victoria and Annmarie, who developed their relationship through their love for arts and their work at Sip and Paint, correct? Welcome to the studio, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, can you introduce yourself, starting with Annmarie?
Starting with me. So hi, I'm Annmarie. I'm 23 years old. Currently, I am a student studying spatial design. It's like interior design, but more complex.
Okay.
And I work with Victoria in Sip and Paint. She will tell you about it later on.
Okay.
And you?
Victoria.
Hi,
introduce
I'm
yourself?
Victoria. I can say anything. I'm Victoria. I'm a very passionate person.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say what I am, but I feel like I love pink. I will. What else? I'm the founder of Sip and Paint Malta, and I love to do a lot of things, included outdoors, painting, sipping wine, talking with people, and other
Obviously.
things. And thank you for the invitation.
Come
Thank you for being on the show. So, where are you from, Victoria?
Panama,
Panama.
but I have Chinese.
Oh,
Half
okay.
Chinese, half Panamanian, half Spanish, half a lot of everything.
Half of a lot of things. And how long have you been living in Malta?
I'm going for 6 years this year.
Okay, so quite a lengthy.
Yeah.
What brought you here?
Sorry?
What brought you to Malta?
Love.
You must be. You already said you're a passionate person, so.
Very passionate. Yes, I met my partner doing the Camino of Santiago. He's Maltese.
Okay.
So when I finished my studies back then in Spain, I moved to Malta.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys met where?
Doing the Camino of Santiago.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
pilgrimage walk that you do to the St. James
Okay.
at the north. Actually, we are leaving again on Saturday because we go every year for the anniversary.
You
Okay.
do?
Yeah, so we go
Wow.
walk like 100 kilometers
For
every
love.
year for love.
Every time you do a different piece of the Camino,
yes. This year we are finishing the Portuguese.
Okay.
That's so cool.
Yes, so cool. We love it. Really love it.
Okay. Have you seen it changing throughout the years? Because I feel like it has become a lot more popular in recent years.
I always find the same. I mean, it's always changed. The people, the team was always active.
Mm-hmm.
The year of the COVID, obviously, we didn't go, but we'll see this year how it goes.
Okay.
It's cool energy, it seems.
Yeah.
Annmarie, can you tell us how you guys met?
Ooh,
The
exciting.
love
Love story. So, we are a group of Melli Hayouts
Okay.
from where I'm from. And my mom is the leader of this group. And she wanted to organize a team building event for us.
Okay.
And she contacted Victoria. Victoria came to us. She did the session.
What year was this?
It was 2019.
Okay.
She wrote it and everything.
7th August 2019.
How did you?
She laid her eyes on me. Anyways, then she asked me and she was like, I need an assistant. And I was like, yeah, right, you're joking. But then she texted me and...
You texted me.
Okay, sorry. You remember more than I do.
Slid in the DMs.
I texted her like, hey, you forgot me. And then we met, we talked a bit over coffee, obviously.
Ew.
And yeah, the journey started from there, I guess.
What struck you about Annmarie Victoria?
As you can see, she's a very different woman, full of energy, a good energy. So she's very bubbly all the time and laughing, creative. She was very nice with all the group, going around, helping them. And I was like, wow, this is what I need. And she was just joking around with me. And I was like, yes, for real, I need an assistant. So at the end, the joke became reality.
But how long have you started Sip and Paint at this time you met?
It was the
same
first
year.
year.
Okay,
year,
so
yeah.
okay, because I was going to ask that, have you met? You must have had some other clients, but you spotted Victoria in this particular section. Interesting.
I would be curious to understand how Sip and Paint started in the first place, because I understand it's
Oh.
like the first one of its kind, right?
Yes. It started as a hobby. I was working, I am an architect by profession, so I was working as an architect when I moved to Malta. And the thing was that I was quite frustrated working in an office. I never wanted that in my life. I didn't have friends, so I was looking to meet other girls, have something fun, creative, etc. And I used to do it as a hobby in Panama too. And I said, I'm gonna start doing it if it doesn't exist. And I started bit by bit, like with 5 girls. Then this year is our 4th anniversary, so it was 4 years ago. And bit by bit started growing alone. And I did a list of things that potentially could become a business. And the one that I took more my attention was Sip and Paint. So that's how it started. I did my own logo. I did my first like 100 business cards, and bit by bit.
How did you manage to get the word out when you were just starting out?
Oh yeah, I'm everywhere.
Were you just like putting flyers around? How was it?
Everywhere in social media, going to meetings, knocking doors, asking for people, everyone that I could speak about it and try to explain them before I had to really
concept.
explain the concept.
Yeah.
Which I don't really think we explained the concept yet. What
it's
it is.
true.
For people who don't know, which I don't think it's many people left, but you can explain a bit how it works.
Yeah, so it's a guided painting session where you don't need any previous skills of art. With a nice glass of wine included.
As the name implies.
That's included in the price, and you can come for our public events, which you meet other girls, and there is for corporate events like team buildings or private events for celebration, birthdays, anniversaries, etc. So it's just a fun sip and paint session of 2 hours, and then after 2 hours you have a painting made by you,
Yeah.
Even if you can paint before.
even if you can't.
I can attest for that. I met her at that. I went to a Sip and Paint event, and it was really cool. It was a nice environment. Plus, your house is just fabulous. It's like it's straight out of a Pinterest page. I've never seen anything like that. It's really really cool.
Yeah, because
But it was a really good
yeah.
environment. And
It's
some
small
people were kind of
ones,
like
yeah.
on scope out mode. I remember there were 2 people from an embassy that they wanted to do the event and see if then they can propose it as a team building event. So no, it was really really cool.
Yeah, after they came for a morning one.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so the small sessions I am doing them in my home studio.
Okay.
When the cozy ones, let's put it in that way. And then we have other venues around restaurants, hotels, and things
Okay.
that we do them too.
Interesting. Annmarie, so it started off as a work relationship, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so how has your experience been working with Victoria?
Oh my god. I need more like a day to talk about this. I mean, I always tell her that she's my second mom and she hates it.
Okay.
So let me rephrase it, Victoria. You're like a sister that I never had. Okay, better? Yeah. I mean, apart from being my boss, I don't see her as my boss. Don't take it bad. I see her more as a friend, as a sister. I could go to her for advice, for personal and even art-related advice. It has been great, honestly. It has been great, and I'm very grateful about it. Very.
So you are presently studying what now?
Spatial design.
Spatial
Yeah.
design. Is this something that developed in the course of your work with Victoria, or
No, it started before because my passion for design started from a young age, and then I was studying, and I always wanted to go something into art related.
okay?
Yes, and spatial design was one of them. So it came before Sip and Paint. Sip and Paint made my dreams more real.
And why did you feel like this was a good fit for you? Have you always been a creative person? Have you had those kind of hobbies on the side before this?
Yes, I'm laughing because I remember myself when I was young. When my mom and dad used to go out of the kitchen, I used to grab the crayons that are next to me and start drawing on the wall.
I know.
I'm sure they must have been very happy about that.
It was a danger move, but it was worth it for me.
Yes.
So it was always there. It was always there.
Okay.
And how does this experience compare to other work experiences that you've had before? And also, was this your first experience working with someone who of a different nationality? So maybe there's also different mindsets. Maybe you came into challenges or had disagreements or saw things in a different perspective.
Yeah, since I met Victoria in 2019, I was 19. I didn't have much experience before. The only experience I had was a waitress which was in a Chinese restaurant. So that's the only thing I could say that they were foreigners. Yeah, that's it.
In a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah,
I'm picturing.
like a waitress.
So do you speak Chinese?
No, I don't. They spoke English, thank God.
Okay.
But I tried my best to learn up till 5, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in Spanish, when in Chinese,
Okay.
and now I forgot them.
And now are you learning Spanish?
Now, yes, I'm learning Spanish. I have to.
She have a boyfriend from Venezuela.
Yeah.
Doesn't really sound like you have much of an option, you know what I mean? It's a big point.
Are you an influence?
Well, no, not at
No,
all.
no.
This is having recorded.
Okay, so I personally, sip and paint is always chasing me. I know I've told you before on the social media.
Chasing you.
So that means that the market
Chased
works.
you everywhere.
Yeah, it's always chasing me, and I'm like, wow, I don't paint, please.
Leave me alone.
I want.
So, how does it go now? So, is this something you can do solo, or it has to be company of friends, work, colleague, or something like that?
I mean, it's a complement of everything, I think.
Okay.
I think as long as you knock the correct doors, sometimes not the correct ones, but they will keep opening. I love marketing. I am the one who chases you. I doubt that I could lead that to someone else. I just love it.
Yeah.
Social media, everything, I manage that. Now I have another girl, Sole, that she's helping with the administration. So emails and all that stuff, she's doing it because I'm not good at that and I don't like it either.
Okay.
So I just delegated because the business, thanks God, is growing, and I started delegating a bit. And Annmarie, she's my right-handed in the painting sessions, helping too, and taking the lead of the sessions alone too.
Okay.
So
I mean, is this something I can do on my own, like solo? I can come for a session alone.
yeah,
No company.
yeah. For the public sessions, as she came to, you came, Elena, you come alone, you book alone, and you meet other girls and men
Oh,
sometimes,
okay,
yes.
okay.
There is a mix of
I
every...
mean, personally, the fun thing is the fact that you meet other people.
Yeah.
So, like, she's like the teacher, she goes around, but and then I remember
Okay, so
once
you
we
pair me
finished.
with others, right?
Well, not like paid. We're all well for us. We were
Like
all
a
around the
group.
same table. She explains step by step how you
Step-by-step
do
process,
it,
yeah.
and it was fun because by the end of it, you know, you're also quite tipsy because you're drinking wine. You're going. We started going all around each other's table to see how we did the same thing. I don't know. It was a fun experience, and I think it's cool because you are also with people that you don't know.
No, so
Yeah,
you
yeah.
kind of- it helps you network, sort of.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, do you find a lot of foreigners, locals come together to do this sort of thing?
Now, yes, in the beginning, the locals, not much. Maltese people weren't coming. I mean, they weren't familiar with it. It was something totally new.
Okay.
So I found it quite challenging in the first 2 years, let's put it in that way.
Okay.
And it was more expat coming because they are always looking to do fun things, different things. A lot of them have duet in their countries. But the good thing about Malta is the word of mouth. If you do something good and it's worth it, it will run alone.
Even bad.
If bad is even worse, so don't do it. But if you do it correctly, I mean, the business starts getting more smoothly, like organically, they will start coming and bringing friends and team buildings, etc.
Yeah. You had mentioned that you had started this because you were feeling a little bit lonely and you had struggled a bit with the idea of making friendships. Was that part of your first impression when you moved to Malta? Like, what was your perspective on it when you just arrived here? Did you have any culture shocks?
In my perspective, it's a very personal situation because I left, as I told you in the beginning, everything because of someone else.
Yeah.
Like, because of love.
So you already have, like,
Somebody.
company, sort of. Yeah.
Somebody, but just one person. Like, sometimes you want to have a support around you.
Yeah.
My family is in Panama. I need 3 days to arrive where I come from. So even the difference of hour, we can't talk regularly. It's totally different. So in the beginning, really, I was lacking of girls. The older I get, the more I feel comfortable with women. And I was really woman. Sorry, she just corrected me my grammar yesterday. With women. And I was really lacking that. That was one of the main reasons.
So you felt it's a need for community.
Yeah.
Interesting. And have you found that community now?
Oh, yes.
You better say yes.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, Annmarie is an example already. So, and I can also guess from all the clients you've had, you've made a lot of friends, a lot of connections. Yeah, so good. It's also I'm wondering, how has business been for you as a foreigner here?
Amazing. It's amazing.
Good. Good to
In
know.
Malta, you have so many opportunities. It's so easy to do business. I don't know, maybe it's me, but I love to do business. I just born to do business. It's in my
It's your
blood.
world.
If you tell me something, I will tell you, do your
Exactly.
business. I will
Agree.
help you to do it. I just love it.
If she wants something, she's gonna get it. That is what I learned from her, and I need some of that
Energy.
magic.
I feel like it's a bit rare to find such a determined sort of personality. Like, I'm very happy for you that it worked, but I'm sure that this also plays a lot into why it worked. Like, it seemed like you had, an idea from the get-go, how you're going to do it, how you're going to get it done. It doesn't seem like someone that really stops at the first challenge. Was this like something that is maybe part of your culture or your family? How did you get that gene,
Well,
in
I
a
come
sense?
from an immigrant family, which they struggle a lot. My both parents are my most, how do you say, the person that I most admire, the
Admire,
people that
yeah.
I admire. And they taught me that. So I have seen that you have to struggle, you go bankrupt, you start again, you have a problem, you start again and again and again. And it's just part of me too. I think it's personality with a combo of how you grow up, how you see things, how you approach life, kind of.
So you're coming here, you had the mindset that, okay, let's even get it straight. When you got to Malta, you started working straight up?
Yes, I think after 8 or 6 months.
Okay.
But we were doing the refurbishing at home,
Okay.
the painter's home. So yes, I put a lot of love in that home, both of us. My partner, he's not an interior designer or architect or nothing, but he loves
He
it.
tries.
He tried his best and he really loves it. So both of us have been a very good complement in that way. Like we have the same taste for things at home.
Oh wow. So makes it
So
easy.
he makes me do whatever I want at home, most of them.
Okay, most of them. Good to know. We will be taking a short break now, so we can catch our breath, and we'll continue the conversation after the break. The program is still Face Value on 103 Malta Sat. Don't go away.
Face Value, in collaboration with African Media Association, Migrants Commission, and 103 Malta's Heart.
And we're back with Face Value on 103 Malta's Heart. Today with Rachel, we're joined by Annmarie and Victoria, and we're talking about their experience through work, through Sip and Paint. So, yeah, it's interesting. We were just talking about the whole different perspectives that you can have also with the immigrant experience that brought maybe Victoria a bit more determination into that. I was curious, Annmarie, what your experience was prior to this, because I mean, everyone has different experiences also when it comes to being in a creative environment, working with foreigners and whatnot. How did this work experience, given that it was like, I understand that you have also a lot of responsibilities and sometimes she delegates also events to you for you to guide the events. How has this changed maybe some of any misconceptions you might have had before that?
Yeah. Where do I start? I mean, when I saw a person who is trusting me with her business, a creative business, I mean, I was quite anxious at first. I'm quite an anxious person. But having this person who is trusting you makes you feel good, honestly. Makes you feel good. Like, wow, she's trusting me with the business. I go, girl. But regarding working with people, foreigners, as I said before, I didn't have much since I was young at that age. But the only experience I had was in school. Like my classmates were foreigners. And I love that, honestly, because they get different cultures and different perspective, which I didn't know about. So I feel it's right to be multicultural in that way, because like you're seeing everything around you and what's going on. I think that's it regarding that.
Do you see that also in university? Is it a multicultural environment?
Yes, but mostly they are Maltese. Mostly they are, for example, in my class, no. In my class, we have from Bulgaria, from Latvia. We are a good mix in class. And I love it because they say their perspective, I can hear it, I'm being exposed. I like it.
Okay, that's
I like it.
interesting.
So how does this experience affect your general outlook of Malta presently, considering that I know that growing up, the presence of it's not so multicultural as it were. Over the years, a lot has changed. How does this experience you've had with Victoria and working in a Chinese restaurant, how has it helped you generally in relating with other people?
I mean, the fact that you're seeing different people and that you're meeting new people and talking to them and talking about their memories and things like that, I think it widens your knowledge. Like you become more knowledgeable and multicultural. I think that's it.
Interesting, because I know that the experience for some people is not always so good. It's not, there's no, it's not black and white, so to speak. So you might meet somebody, the experience might be good. You meet somebody, it might be bad, but then it's definitely to have an impression on yourself, and you begin to like, okay, next time you meet this type of person, so it influences it. So I was wondering, like, now that you've been working it has actually, so you don't have this shock when you meet some people, and also because of the kind of work that you guys do, because you meet different kind of people from different nationalities. I was wondering, Victoria, how has it been for you? Do you speak Maltese now?
Fit. I
She's trying her
try.
best.
I even have a TikTok. I teach words in Maltese and in Spanish.
Oh,
I remember her. She said she's passionate, and she truly is. I remember, like, her home screen of her phone was like the verbs in Maltese and how to say them. It was the words in Maltese. So when she opens the phone,
it's the first thing.
yeah, she's like,
Yeah, kios work.
Yeah.
Like, they took me like 2 days. Yeah.
but yeah.
That it was more difficult.
So how does this help in your business? How has you learning the language, how does it help in your business?
I mean, I don't talk. I understand now a lot what's happening. No one can talk about me because I know.
Exactly.
And sometimes I can like reply when they are saying something because I am understanding a little bit more. But what I believe is that if you are living in another country, you like it or not, because obviously I would prefer to learn another language because more people talk about it,
Yeah.
But if you are living here, eventually you think it's part of the adapting and part of taking a bit of the culture and etc.
I see it as being respectful in a way.
too.
Yeah.
And I like that you said that, actually. It's important that we get the perspective of how do locals feel about foreigners learning their language, and how does the foreigner also feel about learning the language. For Victoria, it helps her to adapt, and the integration, it's easier integration. But I like the fact that everybody feels that it is respectful for you to learn the language. I would also say that it is it opens doors and it's easier business as an entrepreneur. Do you network with others?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
I am very active.
Loadsome.
Very active.
Tell
all
us
the
about
time,
the
huh?
communities you belong to and other kind of
Everything that comes out, I go.
That's true.
It's not joking.
Wow.
I am guessing you're an extrovert.
Tell us about
Just
it.
imagining very lightly
bit.
that you're tiny.
How do you keep track of them? So
Want to
how
see
do
my
you find
calendar?
So any event I go.
Now I just go on a scholarship. I'm going abroad for a networking in business too with women. So I want this and I'm going. I mean, everything that I can, I apply or I go if I have the time.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It is.
Do you ever get burnt out?
Yeah.
No, I
She
ask
does.
genuinely because,
Yeah.
like, for example, I am an introvert, so I've had too many social interactions in a day. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
You are the
I gotta go.
introvert.
You didn't know? My God, no. If I have too many social interactions, like I need to go home, I need to recharge, I need to disappear from
Yeah.
the environment. But it seems like you really get energized, like the most people you meet. But I can imagine if you're interacting with so many people at a time, you're having these events, like we were 12 last time, and you're going on like bigger and bigger and bigger events. it's hard to even keep track. Like the idea that then you network with all the people that you meet after that, to me is
Yeah,
insane.
actually, I am even complaining that I'm not having enough time to talk with my clients because I love that. And as difficult as it sounds, I was a very introverted kid. I started talking when I was 12. Before than that, you will see me there, and I
And
won't
you there.
move from there. So
It paid
what
off
you
well.
see now, yes.
She made up for
Then
it with
years of
interest.
therapy, years of coaching, years of I have no idea.
Yeah.
So yes, I get drained. I even have a problem in my blood. It's called thalassemia, which is that I don't oxygen correctly. But I think my passion is what wakes me up every day. I mean, what you like is just. I just don't even think about it until the body tells you, okay, today you sit and you sleep the whole day, and then it's like, okay.
That's what you were saying also before, like your background is architecture, working in that environment, and you were just saying, I don't feel like working for somebody else. Like I want to do something on my own.
Yes, because the thing is that I always remember clearly when I was gonna start studying architecture. That I told my parents, look, I want to study architecture, but when
So
I
you
graduated,
told them?
yes, clearly as that, and they will see this and they would laugh because poor my parents. But I told them, I'm gonna study this, but I am gonna be my own boss. I'm not gonna work for someone, and I'm not gonna be in an office.
So it's not the profession you hate, but the fact that you were working for someone.
Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted to be my own boss.
And somehow you are here now.
Yeah.
I think that is a gene as well, wanting to be like
Your own boss.
self-entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
Yeah,
Tell me what I gotta do, and I'm gonna do it.
My mom tells
I
me
don't
that
manage
since I
my
was
time
3 years
well.
old, you know that game of the cashier that you sell things.
Yeah.
Since I was 3 years old, I was selling her the whole house. Like, Mom, let's play this. And she was like, why don't you go and play with the dolls? And I was like, no, I want to sell you this, that.
I need to invest in stocks, like you. There's a whole plan here.
and the fact that you eventually took that decision as a foreigner, tell us, how did you manage at the end of the day and say, okay, as a foreigner, I want to start my own business. I don't want to work for anybody. Because you started after you moved to Malta, correct?
Yeah.
How many years after you moved to Malta?
I think
Months, I
1
think.
year. 1 year after,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
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 Because first I started working for someone else,
Yeah.
and then I started bit by bit with the other one.
How was it for you when you decided? What was the reaction of people around you? Like, are you crazy? You want to start a business?
Oh, not at all. My parents, my family. I mean, I don't mind what people thinks about it.
Yeah.
I don't
know
really
that.
mind. You can think whatever you want. That's your problem. You know, I'm happy with what I do, and if I'm happy, I don't really mind with
Interesting.
anything else.
So you actually believed in what you were going to do from the beginning and you just wanted to go for it.
Yes. I have like a formula. It's like the gold carrot. You need to
Okay.
have a carrot gold, you know, like the rabbits
Yes.
chasing it, like that. Because if you don't have that in life, you are going nowhere. You will
And
get
you will be
distracted, you know,
everywhere.
like
Yeah,
everywhere.
everywhere.
No,
Do you have little goals every step of the way? Like now I'm working towards this, then
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
then this? Or you have like one big goal
Both.
that you're working toward? I have both.
So what is your goal for Sip and Paint?
For Sip and Paint, to keep growing it, and eventually I want to do more businesses.
Yeah.
I don't think that I will just have Sip and Paint. I think is my first step of what's coming. But yes, I want to keep growing for sure.
In what ways do you want to grow it? Or you cannot tell?
I feel yes, of course.
The DIY,
I feel in DIYs.
that.
I love the DIYs. I love it. I love for sure in creativity, and I just have like a feeling with women's. Like I really feel more and more and more that I need to help, to empower, to give a help in some way. So I don't know if by 5 years I have been thinking to take more things to help women in business or creativities or with hobbies and how you can monetize that. I love that idea, but I haven't concretized it. We'll see.
Interesting.
Annmarie, so working with somebody like Victoria, with all these philosophies,
Very difficult.
with all these philosophies, with all this energy, and how has it impacted your personal life?
I mean, I have to admit that
She's seated
that
before
she
you.
helped me grow. Honestly, I met her at that transition in life where 19, you know, like you're growing, you don't know what you're doing. And looking at her, I was like, damn, I want to be like her. Like, what can I do? Like, any tips? Like, I look at her and I get admired from her. Like,
Oh.
I really want to be a woman.
Oh, how sweet.
Not all of you. But I do look up at her. I do.
Yeah, I think that's probably the highest form of compliment you could ever
How
get.
sweet.
To have someone who's
That's it, okay?
Like that.
We're enough.
Those are the compliments.
For the year we're enough. That's the only compliment that she's giving us. But I think that also comes from the respect and trust that she had for you in the first
Exactly,
place. Like you were
exactly.
19.
Yeah.
That
a
is
baby.
young. Like when you're younger, like I still consider myself relatively in the younger space, but I do have work experience. But then I'm in this like weird limbo where I have some experience, so I can't say that I'm just starting out, but I don't really have enough to be able to like aim for like really, really high things yet. I don't know where I fit. And it comes a lot from when you do everything in the, how do you say, like in the hierarchical level, you're following the protocol that you're supposed to be following. You finish this, then you're studying, then you're doing the internship, then you're... It's expected that you're not supposed to be given that much respect because you're just starting out and everyone else started out, and that's how they did it.
In the formal sector, the corporate world, that is how it
In the
works.
corporate world, yeah.
But as an entrepreneur, I know that yes, you might have that fear, like I cannot just, give this idea to this person to manage to run for me because the person might not have the vision. But I think that Victoria is so lucky to find somebody who also believes in that vision, and she entrusted. I think it's what creative do, like they are more open. But in the corporate world, like we were discussing yesterday, you are not given that opportunity to fail. When you fail,
no, especially, and many times there's a lot of like, we had to quote unquote suffer, so that's just how it works. If you have suffered, why would you want someone else to have to go through that? Technically, like if you've already been through all the things that I'm being through, that I'm going through. I'm not saying that everyone needs to have like the upper hand and you need to automatically help them, because you still need to work for what you got. But I think there's a difference between not even acknowledging the person and the fact that someone is just starting out and wanting to give them a little bit of a leg up. And I think in this circumstance, having that level of trust and being given that level of responsibility at such a young age is going to have such an impact on just how you deal with your day-to-day life, your level of confidence, your professional work ethic, because you've had someone that hasn't trusted you, you've known that you've tried to do something and it's worked out, and now you're like, okay, I do have those skills, and I've had them for quite some time now. So that's really empowering, as you were saying.
Yeah, so talking about work ethic, when you study spatial design, so what are your goals for this? Like,
I mean, I love creating, as Victoria said. I want to have an empty space, and I want to fill it up with what the client says and help them with what I know and things like that. So that is regarding spatial design. But with Victoria, what I want to do, like with sip and paint, Victoria, we have to do so many things. We keep growing sip and paint. I want to do that home DIY thing that we talked about. Like going to houses and creating feature walls,
I love it.
stools, I don't know, anything.
I remember in the pre-production meeting, you had a tennis racket with like a clock inside of it.
Of course,
something like that.
It's with a with a mirror, I think.
A mirror.
And I remember
Because
seeing it, I was like, that is
tennis
so
is
cool.
because we play tennis at home. I mean, it's like our sport in my family, so it's very important. Kind of.
Oh, cool. Repurposing. Also, it's a sustainable thing to be able to repurpose things that you already have and make something out of it and make a memory out of it.
It's nice.
Pretty cool.
yes, okay. So away from spatial design and DIY. Okay, so I was going to ask Victoria, you will be 4 or 5 years sip and paint this year?
4.
4, okay, 4 years. And so how would you say that sip and paint has grown? When you look back at how you started and now, how do you feel?
I feel blessed
Okay.
and grateful. I started. It's amazing that I started 4 years ago in Emma's kitchen with 5 or 6 girls, something like that. And now we have just last month, like we started again doing these sessions, and it was full up, like 20 something people. So it's like every year it's growing, you know. And so many other people are knocking the doors for collaboration. So now instead me knocking doors, that was who's this girl and what's Sip and Paint. Now people knocks my door to bring them clients. So how the things have changed, and it makes me so happy, and even happy that I can even help others or even give work to others bit by bit. Is very nice.
Yeah, I know how that feels. When you say you are blessed, I know how that feels. And it's important for us. Well, this is one of the things that we tend to share on this program, because as a foreigner who has come here in Malta, this is like a seed that you have planted, and to see it blossom in a country where you... Did you ever thought that you would come live in Malta?
Never. I didn't even knew what was Malta.
Ouch.
She had no idea. For us in Panama, Malta is a drink. It's like a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah, the beer.
So when it was like Malta, it was like Malta is a drink. So no, I had no idea. I am not a beach and sea person at all. I am more a mountain and rivers and things.
Interesting.
Yeah, so no, not at all.
4 years later, you have like a baby here.
A baby.
Sip and Paint, and that is
baby.
blossoming and
With
growing.
a nanny.
That is growing so well. How cool! How cool!
Yeah.
I know that your story is going to be serve as a lot of motivation to other foreigners listening, and to even women. You know, as a migrant woman, when you come here, you feel like, where do I start from? What do I do? How do I fit in? You know, and so it is important for us to share stories like yours, that if you need something, if you want something, you can create it. And
Yes.
do you have platforms where you encourage people, where you share your stories and you talk about it when you network? Have you had such events in the past, or do you attend?
Not really.
On
That I
Sip
do
and
it
Paint,
myself.
yes. I mean, you do share some things on Sip and Paint.
So
Like-
once in a while, yes, I should share a bit more, I think, because
Yeah.
people always ask me how it started, etc., etc. Mainly on my Instagram, my personal, but I always talk in Spanish.
That irritates me.
Yeah, so I share a lot of things there, but in Spanish. No, I should share a bit more, yeah.
But last time you posted the video of the business cards.
Oh yes, but
That
that's
one-
really
that
like I
was really
started with
touching.
100 business cards that I told you, and last 2 weeks ago, just finishing my first session of April, it was, I think, something like that. And I pick up 2,000. I mean, like from my first order, now it was like
Wow.
2,000 business cards.
Wow. And I was at home on my phone like, oh, girl, you got this.
Okay, don't cry on that. So we're going to go on another break now, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. It's still Face Value on 103 Malta's Heart. Don't go away.
Face Value, in collaboration with African Media Association, Migrants Commission, and 103 Malta's Heart.
And we're back with the last episode of Face Value on 103 Malta's Heart. Today we're joined, and we're the last part of this episode, with Victoria and Annmarie, and speaking about their experience and their work together through Sip and Paint. But I'm curious to touch upon more of the personal experiences of what it's like to move to Malta, to live in Malta, because by what you've told until now, I think your story is very unique in some ways, because you have a very specific mindset and attitude, which I don't know if it really is something that I found as much in the culture here in Malta, at least for my experience so far. Would you say that that has been the same thing that you have noticed? Have you noticed many differences in terms of wanting to change and wanting to make something for yourself?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of adapting, respecting, as Anne-Marie said, and that in everywhere you go, you will find something ugly and that you don't like.
Yep.
But you can't wake up every morning complaining about, for example, the noise of the gas guy who in Malta. The guy is not gonna stop coming and doing that. So you better adapt and laugh and make a video and a TikTok and show the world how it works in Malta. because it's not gonna change.
So this
So-
is like making lemonade out of lemons.
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly. So my parents are always like that. Like if you go anywhere, even in your own country, there are things that you don't like.
Yes.
So stop complaining because it's not gonna change, and you can't change a whole country. You have to be the one changing and giving the best of yourself to this place that is giving you too. So it's a giving and a giving. What you give is what you take.
Yeah.
So you can keep, if you give flowers, probably you will see flowers
Yeah.
going around, or you will enjoy a little bit more.
I mean, because also it's like it's an active choice that you have made to come here in the first place. I've seen that many times in the experiences that I have done, that it's like you're there for 9 months and you spend 9 months just saying, but it's not like home, but it's not like home. Like nobody put a gun to your head and said you have to come here, you know? I mean, there are different circumstances that can take you to one thing instead of the other. But it's true, like if that becomes the only thing that you're talking about all the time, although I mean, I do throw myself into that. I complain about traffic a lot.
That's reality.
I cannot help it. I don't think there's any positive spin that you. Is there? Maybe is there a positive spin that I can put to the getting stuck in traffic? I can listen to podcasts. Okay.
But listen to
besides
music,
that-
appreciate what's around you.
I don't think it's even that
Sometimes-
worse.
sometimes-
There are really other countries that are very bad traffic.
Yes,
it's
but sometimes-
uncomparable to other countries.
Thanks to traffic, I notice things that I never see before.
The beautiful cranes in the background.
Yeah, the yellow thing is hanging. But it's really like shops, and you look in their interiors. Maybe it's because I'm a spatial
Spatial
designer.
design,
Yeah.
But why not?
Yeah.
Maybe you love spatial design. You never know.
How do you feel about this perception and attitude that she has? Do you see it reflected in like Maltese culture or not?
I mean, I do agree with her that you have to adapt. And I do believe that every country has its pros and cons. Maybe in Malta there's traffic. Maybe in Panama there's
More traffic.
More traffic. So there is always something. And you have to be the positive one who makes the good out of the bad. So if there's traffic, just go with it, man. Just switch on the music. Just
Or
have
get
to be-
involved, get very involved. People just complain, but they don't get at all
Yeah.
involved in
Yeah.
nothing. Just complain
Yeah.
of the politicians, just complain of how this works.
Exactly,
Do you do
yeah.
something? No, you don't do something. Just better shut up and don't, you are not gonna do something positive, better don't complain.
exactly.
I wish it were more clear what are the in-between steps. Like, I think there is a gap between I want to be more socially involved and what are the actual physical,
Yes.
concrete steps I need to do to be part of, for example, civil society and be engaged and present a complaint. Like, I think there are organizations that do a great work in trying to bridge that gap, but I don't think it's like as common knowledge as we would like it to be. But I do agree that there's a lot of a passive attitude of this thing doesn't work, this thing doesn't work. I mean, like, that's just, it's life
It
and
is
you
what
just
it
go
is.
on with your life and that's it. But then if you're feeling so like stressed and overwhelmed, because it is a small island, like you get claustrophobic after a bit, like it just happens. You need to find that balance of, if you complain X amount of times, then there should be like a rule, like literally like a law that if you do it, complain X amount of times, then you have to do something about it.
Or go.
Something.
You have so many. It's amazing. I'm talking as an expat. It's funny that expats, not all, I don't want to generalize, but a lot of expats, they don't know other places. Like, you can walk, you can see amazing landscapes in Malta. You can go picnic for free and are beautiful.
It's funny
not
that
just
I know
Lima.
some places because of her. I'm Maltese.
No, ironically, people who come from
But
outside,
she
they kind of say they
explored
look
so
for stuff
much.
more.
Yeah.
Yes,
But my
yes,
partner
yes.
too.
As well.
Yeah.
But it's going out of the box.
Exactly.
Like, go and explore. Go and do something else. If you're frustrated with the traffic, with the I really encourage you, even Maltese people, go out of your house and walk a bit, because it's not a lot of nature, but we still have a bit, and it's beautiful.
There's
really
potential.
beautiful. Yeah.
Really beautiful.
I see that when Victoria looks around, that is the mindset of an entrepreneur. When you look around, you see beautiful things. You see gems, you see resources that you can create from. So when they see problems, they don't see problems. They see solutions. They see opportunities.
Do you identify with that? Because you're an entrepreneur as well. Or you're fascinated by entrepreneurial mindset. What's that non-comment? Answer.
Because yesterday she was telling me that I want to do everything. So I don't want
She
to.
does. She lights up. Her face lights up the room when especially when we're speaking to women entrepreneurs. Like that is something that really drives you because that's something that you want to go towards.
Yeah, because
That's
now me and Victoria, we are going to connect after the show.
There you go. There you go. That's going to be the evolution of Sip and Paint. That's what it's going to get.
Yeah. Annmarie, I was going to ask, have you been to Panama before?
I know, but I want to go.
The reaction was like, I know. Yeah,
Because
she's getting it. She's
the
getting it.
thing that is difficult for me is the planes.
You're scared of them?
I am. I get really anxious. I'm a really anxious person, man. But it's not just one flight. I can go on one flight.
You
But
know?
3, 4?
Yeah, are also long distance. Like it's not just like a 2-hour flight.
Or
Yeah.
3 maximum. No, it's like 3 days.
Yeah. 3 days to arrive where
But I
come
do
from.
want to go. And I already told her, like, we have to go. And I made, like, good friends with her mom and dad when they came to Malta.
Oh, how sweet.
So I really want to see them again.
What was your parents' impression of Malta when they came?
They loved me.
As I can tell you, my parents, they always see the beauty of
Positive.
it. I mean, my mom, you will never, ever come out from her mouth that there is an ugly person. I have in 35 years never literally hear my mom say this person is ugly or never. So even if you ask her 10 times, she won't tell you the ugly thing about Malta. So I don't know. Because she will tell you, I like this, I like this, I like the hops, I like to. But you don't know what.
When last did you go to Panama?
Visit Panama 1 year and something.
Okay.
The next one will be us.
Yes.
It's gonna be us. I really want to go.
Anne-Marie, have you ever felt like you wanted to do experiences abroad? Or does
Yes.
your fear of planes stop
No,
you
no,
from
no.
doing anything?
When I was young, that stopped me. The fear of
Really?
it did.
To that point. Aren't there like also like natural medicines that you can get to like
Oh,
relax
there are a
you?
lot of
Lots,
medicines,
yeah.
but man,
You've tried and nothing?
I'm really
So
scared.
sorry
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hear.
But the good thing lately,
Is that you can do it by car.
No,
7 hours long.
By boat.
or swim. No, I do want to go abroad. I'm planning to go on Erasmus right
Great.
after I finish my thesis.
Okay.
Because there's an option, so I want to do that. After that,
Any particular country you would be interested in living in?
oh my god, Switzerland,
Really?
Porto. I love Porto. In Portugal,
Mm-hmm.
it's really artistic. Really artistic.
Yeah.
From what I saw and heard. Those two, I think.
It's very different options, but it
Yes.
Totally, because Switzerland is more about nature
Okay.
and having like fresh air.
Green.
Porto is more the artistic side.
Yeah.
And Switzerland is expensive a lot. But we'll get there.
Yeah.
You will. You will.
You will.
Period.
You should open a motivational blog.
Aye, she
Hi,
is.
babies. This is what we'll do today. Self-confidence.
Yeah, but there are a lot of that already in the space, but it is hard to find, meet people one-on-one with this type of energy, with this type of drive, and like, you see. So it's different thing when you're listening to it or when you just
It's true,
watch.
it's true.
But when somebody's in front of you.
But in
giving you
comparison, it's much harder to find those kind of people in real life, in the
Yeah,
wild.
that's
It's
what I'm
true.
saying.
Like it's sadly that is
Thank
the
God I got
reality of
one.
it. She caught a wild one.
I got a wild card.
I got you.
But I think thanks to her, I feel more like comfortable leaving Malta now. I do feel more comfortable.
no.
No, don't get me wrong.
I didn't tell her anything to the mom of Annmarie.
But I do feel more comfortable leaving Malta, and I do want to leave, like at least for a bit.
I think the beauty of it is also you go abroad, you have you're exposed to different things and different experiences, and you come back and then you can add.
Every time that you
You're-
travel,
it's enriching.
you are not the same person. You see other things. You
Exactly.
learn other things. Like I travel since I'm very young, very alone. That's how I met my partner. Alone, walking in the middle of the jungle. Alone.
Literally.
Woman with a bag alone. That's another story.
With
But
no friends.
no, nothing in the middle of nowhere. But I think that opens your mind. you can't be the same person
Yeah.
anymore, and that builds your confidence too, because then you became another person totally.
Before we end the show, I would like to know. So you met your partner working alone, I know, but how then did you decide to? What was the duration of time before you decide? Okay, I'm joining you in Malta.
Very short.
We got in love in 2 days. Literally, I got in love with this guy. We, because now I can't say just me. We, in 2 days. Like really.
I didn't believe in love at first, but then I heard this, and yeah, I believe now.
In 2 days, and you took the bold step to join him in Malta.
Yeah. I don't know if it's done me
crazy.
so stupid, but yeah.
4 years on, it's not stupid.
It worked out.
6 years. 6 this Sunday, and we are gonna be in the Camino again.
Oh, sweet.
Ah, so you're leaving soon.
Yeah,
The Camino.
Sunday. Saturday we're leaving and we start working Sunday.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So I think it's just believing in things too.
Any final words?
Final words. Believe in
It
yourself.
always sounds so ominous when you say it. Like,
Believe in yourself.
well, yeah, it seems like it's a whole of like creativity, doing
Yeah.
stuff alone. I think being alone is
And
a
don't be
big
scared.
component of this. Like you need
Don't
to
be
pursue things that you're interested in doing on your own and understanding what you really like and
Yeah.
the confidence and believing in that. But you can definitely, I think you have like some sort of self-motivational career. That could be another extension of Sip and Paint. So you can
Baby,
definitely.
I love it. I just love it. Yeah.
And do
Okay.
it scared. That is what I believe in. Like if you're scared of doing something, it's okay. Do it scared. You know.
That is a
do it
really
afraid.
interesting.
It's
That is a
really
good way to
Like,
end it on. I think that's a very important point as well.
There you go, listeners. Dear listeners, do it afraid. Believe in yourself.
You can.
It's been such an interesting conversation with the Sip and Paint ladies. Thank you for joining us on the show today.
And thank you for
you.
being part of our last episode.
Thank you guys.
Are you going to cry on set now?
I mean, I will cry eventually. I don't have to do it right now. but
Okay, right. With that, we have come to the end of today's episode and this season. We hope that so far you've had an interesting journey with us, and we hope to see you again in the future.
yes, it's been an absolute joy. Thank you for everyone who has listened to the show. We thank you for listening to the last episode of our first season of Face Value. We thank you for joining us on this journey of meeting people from all around the world. It's been a pleasure to meet all these new people and have all these new experiences that we can carry with us.
Yeah.
And you can listen and watch all the previous episodes on YouTube and Spotify. I have been Elena,
And I am Rachel.
and we thank you again
Yes.
for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
thank you. See you.
And hopefully we'll be seeing you soon.
Yeah, yes.
Face Value, in collaboration with African Media Association, Migrants Commission, and 103 Malta's Heart.